discrimination law in Belgium is very superficial, and it does say it's not allowed to discriminate, but it doesn't give any further action, and it doesn't include anything. And I would also like to engage in the neutrality debate, because the argument is always given that we have to be neutral. But what is neutral and what is secular? I also would like to live in a secular society. I am a big fan of secularism, but secularism for me means to accept all religions and all ideologies, and not to deny one and force one on people.
I studied at a school where I was one of the few Muslims or even just colored people, and that was something that really bothered me. So I really wanted to help the ones that have less of a chance to go to college or go to the university. It wasn't really that big of an issue. It wasn't like there was a ban in every school. So I thought I will become a teacher, and I will definitely find a school where there's no problem with the hijab. I can wear the hijab and my students can wear the hijab. But unfortunately that wasn't the case. All the schools where I did my internships, they had a hijab ban. But I was thinking, these are these few schools, and once I get my degree, I will find a school where I can wear the hijab as well as a teacher. The moment that you have to take your hijab off, it's really humiliating, and I think it really bothered me, because outside the door I was the same person and I was wearing the hijab, and once you're in, you just have to change it. You're the same teacher, you have the same qualities, you teach in the same way, so it really felt like, is my hijab making me inferior? As I said, I want to fight for a better society, and if I'm taking my hijab off, it feels like as if I'm doing the same thing as they are, and I cannot do that.
Okay. Teachers with a headscarf gave Islam. So it was permissible, and I think it still is permissible for women that wear a headscarf to teach Islam, but it's sad that you have to stick to one subject, as if Muslim women are only able to talk about Islam, as if we do not have brains that can go further than that. But for me, it was absolutely impossible to teach, to even do an internship, or to even enter a school, a public school that has a ban, because some schools don't even want visitors with a headscarf. I've actually been denied access just to the hallway of a public school because I wear a headscarf. It was actually really painful, because they just told me, "Do you have children here?" And I was like, "No, I just come to visit the school." And then they said, "Well, then you take that off or you're not welcome." It was awful. It was, of course, you can't imagine how you would feel at that moment. You do not only feel reduced to merely a scarf, because that is what people do. They don't see you as a person, they see you as a thing. You are a scarf, and they don't want to see that scarf, so you have to go. So you are reduced to being a non-human. You are no longer a human being. It is not only humiliating, it is so painful, you cannot describe the feeling. It was really, really unbelievable. You can't, yeah.
One day I went for an info session at one of the schools I would do an internship, and when I came in, the courses already started, and I went to the secretary, I don't know how you call it. There were two women, and I just wanted to ask them where I had to go, which class they were waiting for me. The first thing they said was, "Okay, take off your hijab." I said, "Why? I'm just here for an info session. I didn't even say I'm just a guest. I just said that sentence. I'm here for an info session. I was their guest. I was not teaching. I was not working. I was not a student." but they really insisted and they were really getting angry. I had to take it off. In their office space, it was really humiliating. They were looking at me as if I was wearing some kind of, I don't know, denigrated thing, and I can't even describe how I felt. It was just, I really couldn't believe I had to do it in front of their eyes. It was just as if you asked me to, I don't know, to do something really bad. And that was not only the only thing. Okay, I was really hurt, and when I got home, I saw that the principal sent me an email, and she said, yes, I heard about your argument with our office people, and I cannot put up with this. This is something in our policy. You cannot do this. She was really angry, as if I did something really wrong, but I didn't even argue with them, and I mean, they were the ones who had to apologize.
Still go to school?
No, we now go to
the mosque where they give us classes. We are basically being home educated.
And do you still have contact with teachers from the other school?
No, and I have lost contact with most of my Belgian friends too, and some of my Muslim friends. Like my best friend and I, we barely speak because she's busy and I'm busy, so it's really difficult. I thought it was a joke at first because we got it last year. We got a letter that said we weren't allowed to wear it next year. They said it before, so now I thought it was just another one of those. I think it's sad, I guess, because now everything is so much more difficult for us. We have to do 2 grades in one, and the exams are much more difficult, and the teachers, unlike in school, you don't get judged for example, your teacher can tell you that, you know, she tried her best, so we could, you know, kind of let it go, but here they won't. They don't know. It's just a piece of textile. It won't really harm anyone anyway, so I don't really understand the whole problem about it. Yeah, I'm really sad about it because I do miss my friends and I do miss going to school. I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of stuff.
Ik vind het heel spijtig, want dat was een oplossing, een mogelijke oplossing om die meisjes verder te helpen. Want het punt is, waar gaan die meisjes nu terecht? Er zullen waarschijnlijk nog veel andere meisjes zijn die in dezelfde situatie zitten, die graag onderwijs willen volgen, die graag een diploma willen behalen, maar dat die kans niet krijgen. En waarbij dat alleen thuis studeren niet genoeg zal zijn. En dat ze altijd wel een beetje hulp nodig hebben, zoals hier. Hier kregen ze de hulp. Als ze vragen hadden over de leerstoffen, konden ze die stellen en ze kregen ook de lessen. Nu, omdat dit project is gestopt, waar gaan die meisjes nu terecht?
Come on. Well, if you have a dream, then you just have a dream. You don't really choose your dream, I guess. If you have a passion to become something or to become someone and to be active in society, to try to help youngsters, as I know my teachers have tried to help me. And if you have a passion for a certain subject, especially like sciences is not very popular for youngsters, but if you know that you can be a person who could inspire youngsters to actually engage in science and make sure that they could pursue themselves higher educations, well, then you just have that passion. You can really choose it, I guess.
So I think there's a problem in society, and education has to change that, and that's why I started teaching.
Ik vind het belangrijk dat elke persoon, ongeacht cultuur, religie, ras, maakt allemaal niet uit. Elke persoon heeft recht op onderwijs. Het maakt niet uit hoe je eruit ziet. En het is spijtig dat er een deel van de meisjes wordt gediscrimineerd van het onderwijs omdat ze hun hoofddoek dragen. Dus voor mij het ideale wereld, of het ideale is dat al die mensen gewoon samen onderwijs kunnen volgen.
Bans on the wearing of religious signs in schools in Belgium most strongly affect young Muslim women and girls. both as students and as teachers or future teachers. Girls and women wearing hijab or a headscarf are being denied the right to education in public schools where a ban is in place. For a long time, bans depended on a decision at the level of each school. Since a recent decision from the Flemish public school system, the ban was generalized to all public schools in Flanders. KARAMAH-EU, together with other non-profit organizations, started legal action against this ban before the State Council. No decision has yet been taken.